I can check if 3 is in S. Intersection is represented with and symbol. In these parentheses, you should pass some list. In this case, I want, for example, 2, 3, 4. The type of the ending set when the operation is over depends on which set is first. As you can see, in this case, regular set is first, so when I perform this operation, the ending set will also be regular. Hello coders, welcome to my channel. I'm David, your guide to mastering program. Today, we're diving into a special type of collection, one that works in a way you might recognize from math, but have probably never used in coding. It's different from the usual ones, offering some powerful tricks you won't find elsewhere. Stick around until the end to uncover what it makes so unique. The collection type that I'm talking about is set. Set is an unordered, mutable, and unique collection of elements, just like in maths. To create a set, you need to open the curly brackets and write the elements that you want. For example, 2, 4, 3, and I'll write another 2 because I want to show you something. When I print S, as you can see, it prints 2, 3, and 4. This 2 is removed since sets have to be unique. You can't have duplicates. The same applies in maths. Also, I have told you that set is unordered, but as you can see here, it's ordered. Why is that? That's because Python doesn't guarantee you that the set will be ordered, which means in some cases it may be ordered, while in others it may not be. I'll write you an example where a set won't be ordered. For example, I'll call it unordered. 40, 20, and 30. Now when I print this, as you can see, this second unordered set is indeed unordered. Also, another conundrum is how to create an empty set, since we use curly brackets to create sets and also to create dictionaries. So when I write something like this, empty, and then open the curly brackets, when I print type of empty, what do you think this print will print? Write it down in the comments below. As you can see, it prints dict, which is an acronym for dictionary. So to create an empty set, you can't just open these curly brackets. You have to use the set class, which is created using the set keyword and then opening the empty parentheses. Now when I run this code, as you can see, now the type is set, just like how we wanted. Unlike the collections until now, sets doesn't support indexing, so you can't access the elements very easy. To access elements, you need to use the keyword in, which we have used before. Now I can print, for example, print and check if some element is inside the set. For example, I can check if 3 is in S. This will print true or false, depending if the element is inside the set or not. As you can see, 3 is in, so the output is true. If I print, for example, print 5 in S, this prints false, since 5 isn't in our set S. Looping through the set is now only possible with keyword in. For example, I can write for I in our set S and then print I. This will print all the elements that are inside the set, 2, 3, and 4. Like other collections, sets also have some functions. So for example, to add element to this existing set, we can use function add. For example, s.add, and now the element that we want to add, for example, 1. Now I can print s, and as you can see, it prints 1, 2, 3, and 4. But to remove the elements from a set, we have 3 options. We can use pop, s.pop. Pop, just like in other data types, it removes the first element. But since we don't know the order of our set, we won't know what element this pop will remove. So this pop is rarely used. Print s. As you can see, 1 is removed. Another way, the second way to remove an element is to use function remove, s.remove, and here we can write whichever element we want to remove. For example, I want to remove element 2. Now when I print s, as you can see, 2 is removed. But what happens if that element doesn't exist? For example, element 5. This returns a keyword error, which means key error 5. This means that this element isn't present in our set. To fix this problem, if you don't want your code to return you an error if the element doesn't exist, we can use function discard, which works the same way as the remove function, except it won't return you an error if the element doesn't exist. So, for example, I can write s discard 5. And now, if I print as you can see, nothing is being printed, no error. But if I remove 2, the 2 is removed, just like with the remove function. Another very basic function that almost all collections have is clear function, which empties our set. For example, s.clear. And now when I print s, it just prints set, which is an empty set. Finally, we have reached the reason why sets are so useful and powerful in Python. Sets have operations that you can perform on them. All these operations that I will show you have the function as well. So I'll write an operation and a function just so you can see how it works. But for this instance, I need two sets. I'll create one and have it values 1, 2, and 3, and another B that will have values 3, 4, and 5. First operation is union. We can print A union B. Operation union is represented with this symbol. Also, that works as A union B. This is a function. These two are the same. So now when I run this, as you can see, this merges these two sets. Next operation is intersection. Intersection is represented with AND symbol, as you can see. Also, this operation has its own function that's called A intersection B. This checks all the elements that both of these sets have, which is in this case 3. As you can see, 3 is printed. Next is symmetric interception. I'll explain shortly what it means. Print A symmetric difference. Function intersection and difference is the same, so I want to clarify that. B. Symmetric difference prints all the elements that are unique for both sets. What I mean by that is, first, it prints all the elements that A has but B doesn't, and then vice versa. It prints all the elements that B has but A doesn't. Elements that A has but B doesn't are 1 and 2, and elements that B has but A doesn't are 4 and 5. So I expect to see 1, 2, 4, and 5 printed. As you can see, 1, 2, 4, and 5 is being printed. Another operation is subset. A subset B. These two symbols represent subset, which means if all the elements that A has, B contains them. For example, print A subset B. I mean is subset because this checks if A is the subset of B, which means that B contains all elements of A. As you can see, 1, 2, and 3, and B has 3, 4, and 5, which this should print false, since A doesn't have all the elements that B has. As you can see, false. But if I write here just 3, this should print true. As you can see, true, since A indeed has all the elements that B has. The opposite operation of this is superset. This checks if A is superset of B, which means if A has all the elements that B has. In that case, A is the superset of B. If A is the superset of B, then B is the subset of A. Print A is superset B. This should print false because A doesn't contain all the elements that B has. But if I write 4 and 5 here, now A is the superset of B. As you can see, it prints true. Now I'll mention an operation that doesn't has its own symbol. That's called disjoint operation. Disjoint checks if A and B are disjoint sets. That means if A and B doesn't have any elements that are common between them. What I mean by that is if I check A, this is disjoint B, this checks if A intersection B is empty set, which is in this case, of course, false. False. But if I write 1, 2 for A, as you can see, A and B doesn't have any elements that are common between them. So this should print true. As you can see, it prints true. Like tuples, set have a special version of them, which is called frozen set. Frozen set is an immutable set. That means that the set you create can't be changed. So all the functions that I mentioned before, like add, pop, remove, etc., can't be used on frozen sets. To create a frozen set, you need a variable, of course, and you need to write the keyword frozen set. Now, in these parentheses, you should pass some list. In this case, I want, for example, 2, 3, and 4. So from this list, this frozen set will create a frozen set and pass it to S. So now when I print S, as you can see, it prints frozen set with the elements that it has. Frozen sets support operations like normal sets. I'll write you some example. I'll call this F frozen set 1. Frozen set 1 here, and I'll create another frozen set. Write the keyword frozen set, which is a class, and then pass a list 3, 4, and 5. Now, if I write frozen set 1 intersection or difference frozen set 2, this should print 3 and 4 since those are the elements that they have in common. As you can see, 3 and 4. Also, operations support mixed sets. What I mean by that is I'll create another set. Have values 1, 2, and 3. What I mean that operations support mixed sets is, as you can see here, this one is regular, while this one is frozen. The operations will work even though when I mix them. So if I write S intersection FS1, this should print me 1. This should print me 2. As you can see, 2 and 3, since 2 and 3 are the common. But as you can see, the type here is regular set. The type of the ending set when the operation is over depends on which set is first. As you can see in this case, regular set is first, so when I perform this operation, the ending set will also be regular. But if I swap them and here write FS1 and here just the regular S, as you can see, the ending set is the frozen set. I hope you found this video helpful. Like and subscribe for more coding content. See you in my next video. Until then, keep coding.